Um,
Hello, I'm Robert Honda, and welcome to Asian Pacific America here on NBC Bay Area and Cozy TV. It is the cherry blossom season, and with it comes all sorts of traditions, events, and celebrations, and especially on our program today. It would be hard to do a Bay Area segment without starting with the Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival in San Francisco. There are all kinds of festivities that take place, including the crowning of a cherry blossom queen. It's an event I've gone to and participated in almost every year. We will talk with a festival coordinator and a queen about what's happening this year. And it is one of the most colorful, entertaining parts of the festival that attracts all generations. It is called anime cosplay, and it is a combination of anime, animation, and cosplay, costume play. And it is popular at all the events that pay tribute to this new trend in Japan, such as Comic-Con and Fanime. See it for yourself on our show coming up. Then we move into something a little more traditional, but no less of contemporary interest as we explore origami art and dolls. They help tell stories, and their history is a great story in itself. We will show and tell that story coming up. And we end with an art form that is just as colorful as any other, ikebana, Japanese flower arranging. It is a big attraction at all the cherry blossom festivals, and it offers a rich, colorful element to all of the cultural offerings, and it will be a great way to top off our show. Well, for a lot of people in the Bay Area, celebrating the cherry blossom season means going to the Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival in San Francisco, which takes place next weekend and has been a part of the cultural landscape since 1967. One big reason is the appeal of Japantown. Joining me to talk about the Cherry Blossom Festival, the future of Japantown, and the Cherry Blossom Queen program are longtime supporters Greg Viloria, an executive committee member specializing in marketing for the festival, as well as helping deliver economic development to Japantown by way of the Japantown Task Force. And also with us is someone I see at many community events, Yuka Walton, a one-time Cherry Blossom Queen and committee member who helps guide the Cherry Blossom Queen program that takes pride in mentoring young women and developing them into community leaders. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for having us, Robert.
Now, we mentioned that the Cherry Blossom Festival is entering its 48th year. Give us an idea in terms of what kind of traditions are being held and what kind of changes you see in its evolution.
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I think as we go through this, the opening ceremony, the Kagami Biraki, we're opening that sake barrel, and that's pretty traditional, as well as some of the odori and of course the carrying of the mikoshi during the parade. And so, what's new we're bringing in is more kind of geared to the younger people. We got to make them happy. And the Sakura 360 stage is the one we're opening up to kind of address that segment of the population that's really up and coming, and really is needed to have part of the festival to make the festival get to the 75th and the 100th.
And what is it in that circle?
So the Sakura 360 area is an area devoted to the new culture of Japan. And 360 is what we call this kind of culture that comes from Japan, comes to the United States, gets morphed here, and then comes back to Japan, actually, and gets readopted. And it's really fascinating.
Now, we know that it appeals to young people, and I've seen it at other festivals and everything like that, but I think that older generation people are kind of curious on what's happening, in terms of what young people and young Japanese and Japanese Americans are getting into. Huh?
Well, absolutely. And I think, when you talk to a lot of we call the OG-chans and Oba-chans, I think they really like to see exactly what the young people are doing, because it gives them vigor. It also gives them hope that we can continue some traditions, real traditions as well, like tea ceremony, but also the new traditions like cosplay and anime.
Well, Kelly, obviously the Cherry Blossom Queen program is kind of a mix of both. It's a tradition, but it also appeals to a lot of young people. Give us an idea here in terms of how that program has changed and maybe orients itself more toward kind of helping young women become community leaders.
So the Cherry Blossom Queen program is definitely dedicated to mentoring young Japanese American women and helping them develop leadership skills such as public speaking and a sense of community service. And with those skills, the court members travel throughout Northern California and volunteer at various events, as well as go to our sister cities to help learn about their festivals, such as the Nisei Week Festival and the Honolulu Cherry Blossom Festival, and also learn about the Japanese American communities that exist over there.
Use yourself as an example. You were a queen before. What kind of helped you? How did that program assist you in terms of your development?
Leading up to program night, which this year is on Saturday, April 11th, but leading up to program night, we do a lot of practice in public speaking and in interviewing, and having done the program, I've exited with so much more confidence and ability to lead groups and community connections, which helps me be involved in my community and know more about my community and the history of my community. And so I've always felt very blessed to have been a part of the Cherry Blossom Queen program.
Now, Greg, we were talking a little bit earlier about it's the 48th year. You've got to aim toward the 50th. Yes. What are some of the things that you need to overcome, or what are some of the potential obstacles you see ahead, and how can people help you?
Well, developing, this is an all-volunteer festival, 200,000 people over 2 weekends put on by 500 volunteers. Yeah. And so we need to continue the heart of volunteerism in Japantown, bring people to come to see our festival, but also understand that it is a volunteer festival, and we need to gear up our sponsors and everyone else to get to our 50th, because there's going to be a lot of programming on the 50th.
Now, when we see pictures like this, and people see the taiko drumming, they see the big crowds, they might not realize, because we've done stories on it, that Japantowns can disappear, right?
Yes, I mean, years ago, we're about going to our 110th next year in SF Japantown, but it used to be 26 square blocks. Now we're down to 6 in its core commercial corridor, and what I would like to see is really it continue to be that place where Japanese Americans, could come and enjoy arts, as well as people who love Japanese culture. Yeah.
Kelly, where do you think, as a young person yourself, what do you think needs to happen with Japantown and the festivals in order to kind of make it more of an interest all the time instead of just once in a while?
I think definitely within our Japanese American communities, we need to continue programs like the Queen program that help the younger generation develop the leadership skills to then help lead these community organizations and help expand these festivals. So not just make the Cherry Blossom Festival strong, but our other festivals such as Nikkei Matsuri, which comes later, and Soy and Tofu Festival, and Nihonmachi Street Fair, I think definitely if we focus on the younger generation and developing them, then everything will blossom.
Youth must be served, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you at the festival.
Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Well, the Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival on the weekends of April 11th and 12th, as well as April 18th and 19th in San Francisco's Japantown. And you can get more information on their website, sfcherryblossom.org. And you heard us mention anime and cosplay. See what it's all about for yourself coming up.